Hey everyone, welcome back to Code with Destiny. So in this section, we're going to talk about how a basic C++ program is organized. So whether you're a beginner or just need a refresher, this video is going to break down everything you need to run and execute a C++ program. So let's get started. Okay, so every C++ program needs some libraries, like at least the standard output library, input output library. So this is libraries are included in C++ using the include statement. Just include the header of the library, and these are called preprocessors. They tell the compiler go inside this library or use this header to find this library and get this function, run it. Just get the description of the function and do exactly what is inside the function. We didn't write this function, we'll check inside there. So the compiler goes into CMAT and other when we write a function in our main, when we write functions inside our main function, it goes inside the libraries and fetches this function for us and then uses it in executing our program. Also, every C++ program has a main function. That is the starting point of execution. That's where our program starts executing. So if you try to compile a program without a main function, we wouldn't compile because we don't have a main function. There's no way that the program is going to start. There's no entry point. So you have to include main. And also, main returns 0. Return type is int. So like you have to return a number that tells you, yeah, this is a success. Our program ended successfully. So if a program executes and returns 0, everything went well. But if you return something else, it was a problem during execution. Also, every C++ program statements end with semicolon, like this other C family languages, like Java, JavaScript, C++, C Sharp. Yeah, they all end with the semicolon. So when you write a statement, like let's say you want to define an integer or if any variable, you use int. That's the type of the variable, the name, and then value. So without the semicolon at the end, it will throw an error, but now it will compile properly without any problems. So to compile, okay, now our code wouldn't do anything now, so but it will compile properly. So to compile a C++ code, we use G++ minus O and this. If you want to get the how to set up the VS Code and compiler and everything, I have a video in the description. Also there, I'm gonna add it to the description, and then at the end of this video, I'm gonna put a link to that video too. So want to set up your system and the compiler. I know it's kind of complex, but I broke everything down in that video. So watch it, come back here, everything will be clean for you. So if you do this, if you write this code to compile the function, compile it and return our executable for us, execute it, then end it successfully without any error. Want to print out something to the terminal, we use a function called cout, cout, and then this accepts whatever you want to print. This two right angled brackets, no, else these two signs, use it to send the variables to like a function to redirect from one stream to another stream. So this day, whatever you write here will be redirected to cout, and cout print something to the output stream. So you're redirecting this string here to output stream. So when you run this, it's going to print out the nan, whatever it is, to the output stream. So if we compile this and run it, it will print out successfully. Yeah. Oh, we didn't save. Oh yeah, that was the error. I didn't save the function. I was like, what went wrong? Why is it not printing out? I was kind of shook for like a minute. So yeah, you save. Always remember to save. You save it. What am I doing? You compile it and run. And yeah, the now is printed. I was like, what is happening? So if we remove this standard library here, okay, no, if we remove the IO stream, it won't compile because the compiler wouldn't know where to get the cout from. If you compile this, it would not, yeah, it will give us an error. So you don't tell it to include IO stream, the header. This is probably fixable by adding include this. So the compiler is really helpful. It tells you what went wrong and things like that. So debugging in C++ is very simple. Not like JavaScript that will tell you something went wrong, undefined and things like that. So you do this, include your library, everything will, include your header, everything will be normal. Next up is, this is just a declarative region where we get some values from. Just a region that provides scope. Is actually the right word I'm looking for is scope. It provides a scope to identifiers. That's like types, functions, variables inside it. Helps us group our types into our variables into logical groups. So especially when we're using multiple libraries, like let's say we're using inside CMAT we have power function and we don't have power inside IOStream. But like let's say we had power function, a function named power in both libraries. If we use power inside our main function, there will be a collision because the compiler will see that there are two power functions. So we use namespace to say get this from here, get that from there. So when we use standard std here, we wouldn't have to include it here anymore. So if we try to like run this code, it could normally compile it, yeah, it's compiled, and we run everything run without errors. Thus, namespace helps us use unnecessary code, but like be careful while you're using it. Use exactly what define exactly only what you need. So if we want to define a function now, if we want to define a function, you can say let's say a function that gets the square of a number, and we write the return type of the function. We could be a void, int, or whatever the function returns. So for this example, I'm going to show get the square of a number. Write the name of the function. The name of the function should indicate what the function do. You just conventionally you should do that. Make your code a little bit more readable. And then the variable the function accepts can be of any name. The name of the variable should also indicate what type of variable it is, or like what it's needed for. But like since this one is just square, it takes whatever number, then just return var times var. That's how you get the square of a number if I'm not tripping. So yeah, to use this function, you just call it square of name, and then if I accepts a number, so name is a number. But like we can see that there's a problem here. Use of undeclared identifier. Wait, It's not because our code is wrong, it's just because square is not within the scope of main. So if you run it, you get an error that square is not declared in this scope. So to do that, you create a namespace if you don't want to use the global name. If you just write the name of a function here, like without any namespace, just copy the name of the function and then paste it before main. That automatically solves our problem. And then we run it, we compile, it compiles normally, run, and we get our value. So basically that's the structure of that's the fundamental structure of a C++ code. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, like and subscribe, hit the notification button, that's the bell icon for more tutorials like this. If you got any question, drop it in the comment section. I always reply my subscribers, and even if you're not a subscriber, I will also reply you if you comment. Like, I would appreciate it if you subscribe. See you in the next one.